Before we get started, I'm going to take 5 seconds of your day to say we have streams on Twitch and YouTube. We have a Discord, link is in the description below, and please drop a like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. Well, guys, we have, like I said, a very special day. We're going to go ahead and roll an introduction for you guys. We have 2 guests planned. One of them is TheYoinksTTV. He'll be rolling up about halfway through the podcast. We have a lot of cool stuff planned. Let's go ahead and give our introduction to our first guest. He needs an introduction. He deserves it. He deserved one. So we'll go ahead and play it. Here it is, guys. As we know, they called him the Bong Boy. All the way out of California. He got 4th place in the NA tournament. This is Yoinks, my man. And now before I get started, I want to make sure that we say, from all of us here at Calzax Gaming, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. We really appreciate you being here and hope that your audience enjoys their stay and you as well. So, thank you, Yoinks. We appreciate you being here, my man.
So kind, bro. I'm excited to do it. You don't got to thank me for shit. I'm having a good time already.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm happy to hear it. You know, we hope that we give you a good podcast experience. It's honestly a lot of fun. We're going to get to talk about some really cool stuff today. And first off, we do want to start, since we got you on the show, we want to start talking about you. This is the first time we've really been able to chat extensively, both, you know, between me, myself, Sieglum, Sidu, all of us. So tell us, the audience and us, we would love to have a chance to learn more about you. So tell us a bit about the man behind Yoinks and how you found yourself where you are today.
Well, I got into computer games when I was a kid, but I was playing like League and like Minecraft and stuff. No FPS.
So
Xbox, right? It was toxic as hell. So I got over that. Eventually got a real computer, and last year started playing FPSs with Rust and put like 800 hours into it. Before that, I was like selling cars. I was working like 12 hours a day, like 6.5 days a week. And I just didn't really have the time for it. But once I stopped selling cars and went back to school, all I had was time to play video games all day. So I started smoking weed and playing video games all fucking day, bro. And it's been great ever since.
Yeah, man. Put it to work. You know, put some production on that. I like that, man. That's awesome. That's in Rust, too. I mean, you said you put 800 hours into it. I mean, so that's where you really attribute, you know, your Tarkov kind of shooter skills to originally is Rust? You kind of feel like that's where you developed it?
I think that... I mean, I sucked at Rust, frankly, because that's like an intense game to try and shoot with.
Yeah.
But every day for like an hour, I'd try and practice sprays and stuff like that. And from not really using a mouse for an FPS, that was a really good thing for me to do, was spend an hour in a really difficult game to aim in and work on tracking and flicking and all of that. And then, you know, even though Tarkov isn't the same, like, I would really recommend to people, like, to find another outlet to like practice your hand-eye coordination if you haven't played a lot of FPSs before, because that was a really helpful thing for me for sure.
Definitely heard on that. Definitely heard on that. And we got to know, you said you played Minecraft and stuff back in the day. What kind of Minecraft were you? Were you like a solo survival guy or playing on the servers out there? Or where was you?
I was a little PvPer, bro.
PvP?
I played on faction servers back in the like old days before enchantments and shit. And I had like 8 or 10 friends that would work together, and we'd just, you know, go on servers and play for like 12 hours a day through school and shit. And like that was like the original no-life grind for us. That was our first taste of like competition in video games, was fucking Minecraft of all things.
That's where a lot of us got started. I mean, we're in the exact same age group as you, Yoinks. So, I mean, I've been there, man. I remember my Minecraft days. I know Sieglum's got a past in Minecraft as well. So
yeah, my first design job was Minecraft, and
really, that's awesome.
Yeah, professional Minecrafter. I'll list it on my resume.
So it's a thing to have on there. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into some Tarkov, man. I mean, that's the main thing nowadays, right? So we definitely want to be asking you a lot of questions about that. We got plenty on the plate. I know the viewers here, they're here for the Tarkov. It's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely, bro. We all addicted.
Yeah, man. It's the grind. That game just takes it out of you, and you gotta put the time in to get where you want to go in that game. No doubt about it. So, dude, I know you're Labs main. I mean, at least you were in the past. So this wipe, I know you've been, playing on other maps as well. But those Labs key cards, all the way up to 500K now. How do you feel like this has affected labs mains like yourself, especially with them being even more difficult to obtain from therapists because of the stock running out and stuff? Like, how are you comfortable with it being 500K, or do you wish it would change? How do you feel?
It on one hand, it's just so screwed this way because of Bitcoins that like the price of everything that's not from a trader is just atrocious. You know, like BS ammo or Eagle Nick ammo is like stupid expensive for what it really does at the end of the day, or how you can shoot it. So it makes sense that labs cards are as crazy as they are. They need to do two things, in my opinion, to cut it down a bit. Is the global limits, how we have like, I have to be out of raid but at the game for 15 minutes a day every 2 hours to make sure I can get a labs card for a reasonable price once. That is not rewarding anybody, I think.
Nope.
And so even if you want to limit how many labs cards there are, or you want to limit how many people are going there, or you want to make it so it's not just the PvP playground for NWipe, like if those are their visions, fair enough. But this is a horrible way of regulating it for the average player. So like, I want to play labs all day because I can make enough money to do it. If I want to, there'll be dead raids and I'll grind everything out on the map and I'll make 4 mil on a dead raid, and then I'll be able to die 3 or 4 times and it won't matter. But the average player gets absolutely screwed. They can't learn the map at this point. It's completely economically fucked unless they've got like 30 mil to throw away to just start to figure it out.
I'm a casual visitor to the labs, and it's definitely an investment every time.
It is nowadays.
90% of my kit price is the actual key card.
And it affects how you play because you're like, well, if I die here, like I'm not coming right back to just do this again. So like I'm gonna do my everything I can to not die this raid. I'm gonna play as safe as I need to.
How do you feel like that's changed the competition in labs? Like, do you feel like you run into a certain type of player more often because of that? Like, it's not as versatile an array of people, for example. Like, maybe you wouldn't run into as many. I don't know. Is it just more meta stuff that you're running into? Everybody's a Chad on labs now, or because of the price tag?
I think that it's kind of turning into what I found last wipe, which is where you've got, I'll run into like the Vibins and Smitties that are just always going to run like tier 5, 6 meta HKs or whatever. And then you've got all the guys like me that aren't quite at that level, but we can make money playing it all day. And it really doesn't make a difference for us to just run a TV-110 and a meta gun. And so that's what I'm finding a ton of, is just tier 4 budget armor. I love a diaper armor, TV-110, an M1 rig or something like that. And then a real nice MDR or an HK or something that is going to shoot anyone in the face. And then, like a wrist and stuff like that, at this point, it's just for the raiders and the rats, because all the guys that are actually scary, like they're not running anything besides M61 and stuff again. It's exactly where it was last wipe. It's just more money now that it takes to do it. It's not as profitable.
10-4, 10-4. Well, that's really interesting. I know, chat, y'all probably have some thoughts on all that in YouTube comments when this is up there later. We are definitely hearing from the labs main of labs mains here on his thoughts on the key cards and everything. So it will be interesting to see, especially with that Bitcoin market right now. With the economy's just in a crazy place right now. Definitely the first time I've seen it like this. But we'll go ahead and move on from there. I do want to talk about some of the tournaments that you took part in the past. Starting with Punisher 2, man. I got to watch that firsthand, and it was a trip. That was so much fun to watch that stuff, man. So I do want to ask, what was your overall thoughts on the rule set they used for the Punisher 2 tournament? For example, kills being worth 1 point, and then that Plague Mask extraction being worth 3. Did you like that system, or do you feel like there was any issues with it or anything like that?
I think that, like, don't get me wrong, it benefited me greatly. That's the point system was way better for me than what the next Punisher is about to be. And the reason is because, like the Dill heroes and stuff, the like guys that are just all, 8K PMC kills, that's all they do all day. They're at the advantage that they can do that all day. I'm at the advantage that I spent my entire wipe doing dumb parkour on labs and knowing every spawn and all the rest of it. So now I get to use all that map knowledge, all that timing knowledge and stuff to know I have 10 seconds right now to loot parking. I know exactly where to go. I have 4 seconds right now in managers, and no one has ammo that can pen this glass. So I can sprint for the map. Like there was all sorts of cheesy stuff to do. I think this time, I still had a lot of kills. Like I was still like competitive as far as the kill race went too. But this time it's going to be a lot more of what people actually want to see. It's going to be a lot more punishing. Like you're going to lose a lot more money fast, but like I like it. I think that it's going to be more of the spirit of Punisher to get rid of the mask.
Okay, can you describe the Punisher 3 rule set? I'm not exactly clear on what they changed for this one. Do you know what exactly is the differences?
I don't know all of what's like confirmed or not, but the very basics is that we're gonna have more money, more ammo. You know, we're gonna have a little more end game stuff available to us. And what we're gonna be doing is on factory, it's gonna be 120, with dog tags being worth I think half a point, and the kill being worth a point, and nothing else. So it doesn't matter if the dog tags are, you know, anyone else's dog tags. I don't think, like, you don't have to have like your own killed dog tags. If you kill one guy that killed someone else, that raid, you would collect both their dog tags and get 2 points now instead of the 1.
Okay.
Wow. So it's more about cleaning up the fight than it is about getting a random item on the map and running away. And I kind of fuck with that. I think that's a cool little addition and twist promoting survival, or at least being able to get to those bodies.
I hear that. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that removes the whole loot lord method, right, of just going for the Peshley mask. Definitely got to watch a little bit of that.
There was a big meta for it. Yeah, after Australia, everybody realized how impactful it was, and they played it so smart.
I think that's what I noticed too. Like right at the beginning, people didn't quite realize, and then it was all about that mask. I hear that. And we got to bring up one of your key moments, my man. Right at the end of Punisher 2, you know, you had I think it was a 4-player kill streak with Peshley and Dan Giesling like commentating on the stream. I'm pretty sure it was to solidify that 4th place, like right in the last 3 minutes or something, dude. And I thought that was epic. I had so much fun watching that, and I know they did too. You could tell. Could you walk us through what that moment was like for you? And did you know that the commentators were watching your stream right at that moment?
Well,
you know what I'm talking about? Like right at the end.
I kind of knew that they were watching it because my chat would freak out whenever I wasn't really watching chat, obviously I was focusing, but like my chat would freak out whenever I got put on the big screen. And so I think leading up to that, I recognized it was going to be like my last raid. So I was like, I was taking a bong rip, I was taking my breaths. I looked at chat for that moment.
Oh, Peshley got to see that too. I remember that.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny.
Sponsors.
Yo, for real.
But in that moment, it was just, I don't know. I mean, it's really easy to kind of like put the competition out of your mind when you're just at your desk playing video games, I think. Like, I've competed in front of people for other shit that wasn't video games before that really scared me and stuff, and I really was nervous, and like people were staring at me. It was kind of like, there's like a safety net of the fact that you're in your fucking bedroom doing what you've been doing for 12 hours a day for the last however long to prepare for it. And so I just knew it was my last raid. Like, that was kind of all that was on my mind is like, you know, find the people, find the heads, like, get the shot, like, take the risk to do it because you need it right now.
You definitely found those heads, dude. I think all those were headshots, bro.
That they showed up, like, at all. Like, the fact that the people came to me alone as RNG. Like, there was so much RNG in that tournament that was out of control that just allowed me to win, you know? Like, so much, I got lucky.
Really?
Like, everybody
I hear that. I mean, that's going to happen in a lot of tournaments, but, I mean, still, I wouldn't say lucky is a great way to describe it. You can't get lucky and end up where you ended up. There's no getting lucky, but I do hear you with the RNG when you say that, though. Like, people showing up and getting the right kills at the right time, for sure. But, you know, you still got to have the shot.
Tarkov's just not in a competitive state yet.
Yeah, I hear that.
Like, you have to hit the shot. But if probably someone else in that competition could have did the job I did in that moment if they were in the position to, if that makes sense. So I knew going into it, and it's the same with the next one, that there's a lot of guys that are really insane at this game that I know I can kill because I've killed them, and they know they can kill me because it's happened before. And it's just gonna, like, it's so interesting. It could happen. We could do the same tournament 20 times and get like crazy different results, I bet. Like, you'd see me in the bottom 5 at some point. You'd see Dill Heroes struggle because there's so much, you know, what if you just spawn sewer and everybody else kills each other, and you do that 3 times and suddenly you're like 25 points behind.
I hear that.
In the first hour.
I just doubt that a lot, man. Bottom 6 at most. Bottom 5.
I guess I do want to bring up, I guess related to that, I know that, what was it, Big Jake did the strategy of like deleting his gamma container or something. What do you think about that? Like, do you think that was I didn't hear about that. Like, how useful was that container in the tournament, I guess? Because the commentators are, you know, Peshley and Dan were talking about it, but I didn't know how useful it actually was, you know?
I think that it only helps to... The only time I would do anything with it is if I needed to in the final moments to produce kits. I would probably sell it, is what I would do. I think that the only strategy around it... Because, I mean, everyone had grizzlies up there and stuff. Like, it was really necessary for the heals. It was a high-risk one. I don't see myself making any moves with it until later in the tournament when I realize the need for it. Because you might just give yourself a disadvantage and have it never pay off.
For sure, for sure. That's heard. I guess it was just money that he needed at the time or something like that. But
and that makes sense. That makes good sense.
Yeah. And I guess also to go off what you were saying too, it's interesting. We can kind of see your mindset too, because like I was actually a cheerleader here at I'm in Austin, Texas right now, but I was a cheerleader here at the University of Texas, and like so we'd have football games here, obviously, and with 100,000 people, man, and we'd be stunting and like throwing people in the air right in front of all these people, and it's just, you know, what you were saying about being in front of people and stuff. I get nervous. Like I didn't get that nervous doing that stuff for some reason, but when I like hop into Tarkov sometimes, I'm like, woo, you know, it's just shit's crazy. So it's kind of interesting to see your mindset when it comes to that, because you're just feeling real comfortable right at home getting on the mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, there's still nerves. Like there's no escaping it. And that was my first like competitive. I played like beer league-esque COD Pro stuff when I was a kid, like on Xbox, so like the MLG circuits and stuff. But like that wasn't really competitive, like in front of anyone. That was more so like just us kind of like wagering. This is the first taste of it, and I think maybe in part that's a good thing, because it was a lot easier to just put out of your mind that it's another stream today. And also the one thing that was easy to put it out is it's like the most fun lobbies of Tarkov that you've ever had. It's the most fun 3 hours of playing the game that's ever existed. That completely takes me out of it.
I can bet.
No dead raids, no hackers, no hatchlings.
Oh my.
Must be nice.
And those servers.
Are you saying that it'd be easier for you to start stunting people in your bedroom?
Well, I got comfortable doing it is what I meant, I guess. But I guess that's what Yoinks is saying too. He just got comfortable doing it.
Hope you have a high ceiling.
How did you feel about those servers, by the way? Just really quick, last Punisher 2 question. Those servers that they had, did they feel like the same as normal ones? Or
was really bad apparently, but NA wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
I had pretty much the normal experience. There was deaths behind walls and stuff, and like it was the hard peek method, and I was wide peeking everybody for sure. But I didn't feel like it. Just felt like regular imperfect Tarkov.
Yeah,
you know,
that's kind of how it is, how it's going to be. But okay, well, moving into Punisher 3, man, I think we got a lot of cool stuff talked about there with Punisher 2, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy that chat. Definitely leave comments if you're out there on YouTube. Let Yoinks have some love. But Punisher 3, man, coming up. What is it, next, I think, April 8th and 9th or something like that? April 9th? Yeah. So next Friday or something like that. And we definitely want to ask you some questions about that, man. So what has your training been like for the Punisher 3 tournament? And would you say that you try to do anything specifically the same or differently than you did for the Punisher 2 training?
So my Punisher 2 training was 5 days before the tournament. I had a family emergency come up, and I spent the last 2 weeks before those 5 days out of town, so I wasn't at my computer. I didn't touch like a mouse and keyboard for that time.
Wow.
And then I came back and then played the Punisher after 5 days of playing like 16 hours a day on labs. I just sprinted for fight. I didn't even loot the map or kills. Like I lost like 30 mil, and I had a KD of like easily like 5-1 on PMC kills, and I was losing all of my money doing it because I'd either nade myself or just extract. I picked up a shit ton of PMC kills to practice, and that was a really good move. I think this time it's going to be something kind of similar. I have family in town right now. I'm still doing college, and like I've got finals and shit coming up after breaks, so there's a lot of shit outside of gaming that I have going on. So I'm going to take like 2 days off coming up, like 4 days before the tournament, and get away from it and like stretch. You know, I got a back injury now that I can't even sit up at my desk for as long anymore, so I have to keep that into account. I'm basically just gonna, the last like 4 days before the tournament, play factory for 16 hours a day. I did do some scrims with some really good players recently. On the Punisher Discord, we met up with, I don't remember all the names. LO2 Blue was there, Rengar Lol was there. I was talking to, I mean, just a lot of guys that are like the 4K PMC kill guys and shit that, you know, you think if you know all of the contestants, these guys are definitely the ones that could make good on the big moments. And that was a lot of fun. I think that it's going to be really fucking painful when all of the lobbies have guys like that in them on factory of all things. It's going to be a very shocking change versus a public lobby.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
That'd be crazy.
And I mean, I guess you say that too, but so would you consider that working towards, what was it? You had a 41 qualifying run for Punisher 2 or something like that? Was there a training that kind of led up to that as well, or we're just going out and that's just trying to see if you could qualify at that point, or how did that happen?
It was the first day. It was the first night that they announced it and allowed the Google form. I was like one of the first 5 people that sent something in, and it was my second attempt. I did one earlier. Like, I wasn't going to do it that day, but I was like, yeah, fuck, I'm just going to fire on the stream and do it. Didn't like tweet or anything live. First run, I did 33 kills, and then I was like, I think I could do better. Like, that was pretty good. Like, that's a qualifying run because you said 30 at the time. And then I went 41-0, and I was like, well, I'm submitting this right the fuck now. I'm not doing it again. This is it. Fuck you guys. If no one else hits this on the first day, then I have a good enough chance. And people beat it way high and above, of course. People hit like 48 or something, which is insane. I think Vibin did that. But
in an hour, man. In an hour, let me remind y'all. That's crazy.
That's some lives you ended right there.
A lot of RNG in that, too. Just getting enough kills in the lobbies and shit.
That's crazy how it happened. Just a roll of the dice, man. It just happened to be your moment. That's always wild, man. And I guess also when it comes to Punisher 3, do you think that the map change is going to make a significant difference from going from it is going from labs to factory, right, on Punisher 3? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What do you think about that?
It's a massive disadvantage for me versus most of it because I know labs so well now. I know factory really well. That was my first main, but like everybody kind of knows factory well. It's a much easier map to understand spawns on and stuff.
It's way smaller.
Half of the people, way smaller. No raiders that you have to deal with. It's free to enter, so people can spam it all they want.
You're right.
Labs has a certain element of like mysticism to people that don't play the game all day because it's so pricey to do it, and everyone there like has all such knowledge of the angles and stuff. It's like a Rainbow Six Siege game, bro. Like you're just dead from you don't even know where.
I just know the early spawns in the factory with all y'all MLG gamers is going to be crazy. Like that forklift spawn when like 4 people are all right next to each other.
Oh yeah, dude, that is gonna be wild.
God, that's gonna be flying.
No bathroom breaks, bro. You better be at the keyboard, right? Like, oh man,
exactly right.
It is interesting that
it's scary.
Yeah,
I bet.
Once you get, because I have a plan, and most factory guys do if they've played it a lot. For everywhere they spawn, they know exactly where to look and where to sprint, and like they have a play like ready. And so it's going to be interesting. I'll be able to probably halfway through the tournament. I can tell when I'm fighting like blue and stuff now in the map, like naturally, just because we've been playing so much factory. I'll be like, yeah, I'm fighting blue right now. And sure enough, on his tag, he'll come into chat or something after. So there's a lot of personality behind these guys. It's really going to change how the map plays.
Interesting. It is also interesting too that they're doing it right before they try to expand the map too, honestly. But I'm definitely excited to see you guys go at it. And I guess going into that, we wanted to also see how you're feeling about the tournament itself, but the competitors involved as well. So any prior thoughts about how you might place in this one, and are there any specific players out there that you'll be watching for?
Let me actually pull up real fast the list because I want to. There's like so many people.
Oh, there's a bunch, and I guess you already mentioned too that it was going to feel a lot different than labs too. So I mean that's definitely understandable, but definitely curious to hear from you.
I can't pull up the Punisher list, but because my computer's done. But I would say that the guys that are scariest for me are going to be guys like Trey, Toothy, Vibin, Smitty. There's a lot of like lesser known guys on there that are absolutely insane as well, for sure. Like probably like half of the, I'd say there's like, when I read it through the first time, there's probably 20 names that I was genuinely like, man, I hope I don't run into them a few times in a row because it could really fuck up the early part of my tournament. I think that I'm confident enough that I could kill any of them given the chance, and I have pretty much everybody, but they've killed me a lot too. So I know it's like, it's tense. There's probably only like 10, 15 people in the tournament that I'm like, you're not a like top level, and I'm open about that. Like I'm not gonna call Aqua FPS a fucking top level guy or some shit. like he's good at the game compared to most people. Don't get me wrong,
for sure.
But don't compare him to Toothy in my mind. Like that's obvious. Like I don't even think that's disrespectful. They're two different types of creators, you know.
For sure, yeah.
He'll get more loot than you will.
He will. He's gonna extract more than me. I bet. He killed me in the last Punisher.
Oh, did he?
Hey, yo.
What happened? What was the story?
I was fighting legit Arrow above me, and I was trying to control the angle between both of them at once because he started popping off with an SVD at black, and I was in the middle of the map stuck. And so I tried to wide peek him, and he actually like first tap headshot me after I peeked him. like nuts ass SVD. Like it was really good. And his response was so cute. He goes, "Oh, I got him." And he picks up my dumbass tag.
He does do a lot of sniping though, right? Like, so that's crazy. That's a good story, man. That's funny.
Hell yeah.
That's lit. That's really good to hear. So chat, comments, you guys heard it from Yoinks himself, man, who's watching out for. We'll definitely have to kind of see how it plays out, man. That's really interesting to hear about Punisher 3. But I do have a few more questions. Obviously, if you need to dip out or anything at any point, just let me know. But we've got some more stuff that we would love to get your opinion on. So this actually I heard today. I was up smoking on the balcony today, dude, and I was watching a nice guy Tarkov video. You know, he puts them out, obviously, like, pretty much daily at this point. But he put something about the 12.10 patch, right? And I just noticed, like, one sentence that he said. Because I know he's got some, like, inside information, right, that most streamers and stuff don't have access to. I guess some sort of insider at Battlestate or something like that. But he was saying something about Battlestate planning to change the inertia system. He was even saying at patch 12.11 at the earliest. So I know that as a Labs player, and I've seen your game, you're very shifty. You're always moving around. Things like that. How do you feel about that if they were to add something like an inertia system into Tarkov? And what would your thoughts be?
I'm always a little hesitant to say before I see it. And with Battlestate, because I never really know what the changes are going to feel like until they're in the game, because like I don't share the same vision as them. Like I just don't understand sometimes what they say is something and then what happens. So maybe it's not going to be what I think it is, but I think it'll frustrate me. I don't think it'll kill the game. I don't think it's going to, like, the people that are like, oh, this is going to fucking ruin it, all that, I think that's way overblown and it's silly. But, like, the depth of this game is not in the gunplay. I have not reached the top skill of gunplay, but it's an RNG-based, you know, like, bounce and stuff like that. Like, the guys that are at that, like the Bikizis and stuff, that are about as cracked as you can be with the guns in this game, it's, like, the depth of it is the movement and the parkour and the, like, how difficult and awkward it is to move effectively, but also how hard you can make it to hit you in the head. When the time to kill is so short and everyone's just going to headshot you with M61 or something with the first bullet, like, I think the movement should be as gimmicky and crazy and arcadey as it is because it's fun for the depth of PvP. But I get that it's not the vision, and I don't think it'll ruin the game, and I just want different things sometimes, and that's cool. I'll still enjoy it, you know, and I'm maybe it won't even be that harsh when it's implemented. It might just be like a weight thing or something, you know.
I mean, it takes me like 5 tries to jump over a knee-height wall sometimes, so I'm just worried about any sort of thing to distract me from my goals.
Hope that.
Well, okay, that's definitely an interesting take on that. And obviously, yeah, you're right. We have no clue how Battlestate would implement something like that. So definitely would have to see. But I know it definitely just it'd be interesting if they are planning to add it because that's a huge change. Because I know we play like a lot of squad, for example, and in that game it's definitely more focused on the realism. So, dude, you try to change direction in that game, it takes you some time. And so I feel like that'd be a vast change for you guys. So hopefully they do something like that the right way. And, you know, we'll kind of see what they're trying to lean towards, the realism side of things or otherwise. I'm not sure.
One more thing about, like, movement and stuff. I know in this latest patch they nerfed, like, max strength movement and, like, jumping and endurance and stuff like that. I've never gotten to the point where that's really affected me. I mean, I know it's really drastic from what you're used to. Have you noticed it, like, fucking up your gameplay anyway, just not having that same advantage?
The endurance is complete. Like, I only had a day to play on it so far, so I'll get used to it, but the endurance was fucking miserable. Only because you get shot at half stamina and suddenly you're out. You know, like, that was, like, you get hit with an SMG or something. Like, vectors were already strong. You get hit with an SMG and you're just rooted into the ground. Like, you get aim punched your head into the air and your feet go 6 feet under. And, like, it's miserable. So it really forces you to play safer with your body than it used to. And so I think it's going to encourage the meta of just having to one-time wide peak angles, frankly, all of this because of the desync. I think what's going to happen is you need to figure out with a lean peak instead of a jiggle peak now. You're going to have to lean to figure out where they're at. And then once you figure out where they're at, you just have to stand up and wide swing, and the fights are going to be 5 seconds long. Like, that's the meta of PvP at this point is the long, drawn-out, like, jitter fights of peeking doors and going back and forth, all that. That's going to slow that down.
Have you noticed the jump height differences, right? Because they did nerf that as well, right? Jump height and speed.
Yeah, there's some
Not as
parkour
much.
you can't do on labs anymore, which sucks. It was the same thing at the beginning of the swipe. They got rid of some of the parkour I used to do on stairs and shit like that. And now you can't, like, behind red over by Skybridge, there used to be a way to jump up next to Skybridge into the windows by, like, jumping on a rock and then a sign and then just, like, crouch through the window. And I've gotten a lot of kills doing that because people don't know their map very well. And now that's gone. So just random, like, you know, just those little advantages you get from playing the game a really long time are kind of smoothed out a little bit.
Tragic.
I see. Okay, interesting. Well, that's interesting discussion there, guys. Hopefully, you guys can chime in on that chat and comments. See what you guys have to say. We'll definitely be addressing that. And then moving on, I did also want to bring up. I saw that you were planning to take part in the Evasion GG Duos tournament with Indra. And I was going to ask, do you have experience in the past with like any duo tournaments like that? And how different do you think that'll be for you specifically than something like the Punisher tournament?
This is going to be the worst possible tournament format for me if I get into that thing. That is literally the worst thing I could do for myself. I would rather play a duos tournament where we don't have to load into the same raid. And we're playing a duos tournament where we have to play every single map in the game when I don't play half of them. I don't really like customs. I don't like woods at all. I don't really play interchange, although I've started to. Like, there's just... Like, and now with the endurance changes, I don't want to play shoreline and stuff anymore. So I've just been running like factory, labs, reserve, and that's like it. And some interchange. I think that I'm gonna get my ass kicked because there's a loot system for it.
Right.
And sorts of.
You got to find certain things, right?
Like, yeah, on each map you get points for finding. Like, I think there's like an aramid and something you find on interchange, and you get a point each.
Damn, you really gotta have that map knowledge.
I see. That'll be interesting to watch. I know it's going to be definitely different. What is it, a 3-hour tournament as well? I think so, something like that. But
I believe you're right.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I'll get into that though. That's up in the air. We just threw that in because we thought it'd be fun.
For sure, yeah. That one doesn't seem as something like as serious as something like the Punisher or anything like that. But the prize did seem pretty nice. What was it, like 1,500 first place, something like that? Definitely. Not too shabby.
It's a real it's a real
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
Ain't nothing
For
wrong
sure.
with that.
No, Evasion does some great stuff, man. Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing all their stuff that they're putting out. Like, I didn't even realize they had that whole website system and stuff set up, and I went over there and found out about it, and I was like, damn, these people are going off.
Right.
Doing all kinds of stuff.
What's your bet? You think you or Indra's gonna bring home more bodies? Your hot take.
Yeah, I have to say me, because Endra's mean to me every chance she gets, so I'm not going to soften up here, but given the fact that we're playing, like, very different PvP than I'm used to, if it was a pure kill race, then it's me all day. But in something like this, it could totally be her. Like, she's a very good player, too. Like, she could absolutely hit her shots and clean up the 3-man while I'm still running somewhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You heard it here first. You know, quite possibly either way. It's up in the air.
But of course it's me, like, because I'm
Of course.
Like,
Of course, you don't get that introduction if you can't, you know, so, right. Yeah, man, no, so if you guys do that, man, we'll definitely be looking forward to watching that, all of us. I know the whole audience as well. It's going to be some sweet content right there. What were you saying?
My film finger's in the mail right now. Going to be wearing it. Number one.
appreciate that.
So, okay, let's see. We got a few more questions here, and then we'll let you go. I think you kind of already answered that one, so we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. So what are your thoughts on some of the other 1210 changes? Like, for example, Steam Audio. We already talked about, like, the strength and endurance reductions, but let's say, like, the new 9mm AR, and then also, like, the glasses that they added. I'm kind of thinking that those... We're going to talk about it more later in the pod, guys, but I'm thinking that those might be flying under the radar a little bit. They're like the new glasses from Prapwar. They're 8,000 rubles, and they have a high ricochet chance on them. And I'm wondering, I mean, I don't know if they'll end up working, but, you know, that seems like the Shattered Mask, right? Does the Shattered Mask generally end up ricocheting anything, or...
So this is a horrible time to ask me about this shit. So I just had a fight with one of the guys there in Punisher, because he's nuts, Desert Yemen, if you've heard of him. He's a really cool guy. I love Desert Yemen. I was holding a nasty angle on him in Hangar, and I was like, how the fuck didn't I drop him? And then he killed me a bit later after, like, a good fight, and then he, like, hard pushed me, and I died behind a wall because desync, but he had a nice shot. Like, it was good. And someone comes
Oh, we might be losing connection, guys. Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Big group.
Stream until and it just doinked off and he killed me. It happens, but it's rare.
Okay. So Chad, he was saying that it doinked off, but so it does happen, but it's rare. Yeah. I mean, people are gonna be running this like crazy though, these glasses. So we're gonna find out pretty quickly if it works or not, honestly, because there's like no reason not to wear them, honestly, other than the glasses bug, the foggy glasses bug. But
like,
unless they run out of stock, like the global loot limits and stuff. And yeah, that global loot limit, like you were saying before too, that thing is tough, man. And not only for the lab key cards, when it comes to the ammos and stuff, like APSX, man, oh, that is so hard to get your hands on. And it just doesn't make sense. Like, I understand if I go out and I buy like a couple hundred rounds or labs key cards and stuff, if you limit how much I'm able to buy. But why am I limited when someone else is buying up all this stuff? Exactly like what you're saying.
Yeah, it damages the people. I don't know. It's a silly thing to reward, to be out of raid but at the desk at a random time for, like, you know, for some of these trades, like the Bitcoin one or something, for the Tetras or whatever.
Still haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, it's just bots doing it, I think. Like, I don't think any real person's doing that trade.
It's crazy, because that's what it comes down to. Setting a timer on your phone.
Those glasses have been sold out for me every chance.
Have they?
I've seen it.
I figured they're gonna be, because people are just gonna buy them all up and wear them every single time. So I mean, I'll probably never get to wear them. I mean, honestly, with this global system that they do.
I get head-eyed enough that I think they'll be pretty handy for me. So like every time. What's
your favorite map besides labs? If it wasn't, let's say not Factory 2, I figured that would probably be your choice. Let's say of the other ones.
I think I heard Reserve in there.
I think it's probably it's not Shoreline, it's Resort. I love Resort.
Okay, I heard
the rest of Shoreline. If I can get to Resort and get like a good raid there, that's probably the best like actual map to me. But
I do like Resort.
So often you just spawn far away and someone else is already holding it, and then you're like too late for the fun.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair answer. That's a good one. Resort is a lot of fun, but yeah, I would love to run like SMGs inside Resort, but I hate running like all the way over there without any sort of like way to protect myself. Like, because just if you get into a sniper fight or anything like that, you're just screwed on the way in. But the Resort itself, yeah, I agree. It's been that's actually what I've been running most of the time this wipe. I went and got all my keys like really early for that, and it's been solid. Several good raids up in there, so I definitely hear that. And honestly, I think that might pretty much do it. I guess one last question for you. As someone who has the experience now that you've had, what advice would you have for new players looking to get into FPS games, and even those that are, you know, trying to start competing in tournaments like you've been able to do? And I know you've talked a little bit about it, but maybe like FPS trainers in specific that you have in mind or anything like that, just for those new guys.
For Tarkov specifically, the best advice I can give you if you're learning it, instead of working, you know, if you're like fresh to computers and stuff like that, like, you know, fresh to mouse and keyboard, this is your first game, like go play, like there's free stuff like Osu that you can do to like figure out how to use your mouse more effectively in timing. And then you can go and play like Kovacs Aim Simulator to like figure out how to move. But honestly, I would recommend the majority of your time should be on Tarkov if that's the game you care about, because the aim is so weird and like ergo dependent. Like it just adds a whole different system to it. So I would say spend a whole bunch of time figuring out how to hard rat for money, sprint to loot spawns, shove good stuff up your butt, whatever you need to do, like just hard rat, scav up, and then spend the other part of your time saying, I'm not going to make money this raid. I'm going to lose this kid eventually, and I'm going to do it by killing other players until I lose it, or losing it the first try. But like, you just have to ditch the like, that's how you get over gear fear. That's how you get used to corners. Go into the factory and kill a whole bunch of hatchlings, or get killed by a whole bunch of absolutely goated gods that decide to screw around on there that day. But just do it over and over and over and over. And that's it. Then just die a shit ton.
Yeah. Dude, heard. That would be the same for the tournament advice too? Like new Tarkov streamers, for example, looking to get into the tournament play and stuff like that?
For the tournament stuff, honestly, you need it for... I might not be the guy to ask because I don't really do tournaments. Like, this was kind of, the Punisher is sort of a weird thing, and Evasion decided, like, I thought that'd be fun because and stuff. But like, I don't have a ton of tournament background. I think you need to find a tournament that's going to fit what you enjoy about the game the most. For me, I enjoyed the kill races, and so I found a tournament that fit that format. It was literally to qualify. I just had to go and do what I do anyways, which is just spam factory. Okay, I can do that. There's tournaments that qualify with PMC kills, but there's ones that qualify with like different boss kills and stuff. You get points for looting things, map knowledge. Like there's tournaments with all sorts of formats. So I'd start narrowing down what are my skills and then where can I apply them, you know?
That's really good.
Definitely need a tournament for like graphics card races.
There's probably loot tournaments. Like they're maybe not as exciting or like big yet, but I almost guarantee you could get started on tournaments that heavily prioritize. Like I'm sure they exist somewhere, you know?
If not, I'm about to
That's
start
interesting.
one.
You heard it here first, guys. Yoink says, just find your niche in Tarkov, whatever you're good at. Doesn't even, you know, whatever it might be. It's more than just a shooter game, you know? It's got that full RPG side of things and everything. And that's what's crazy about it. What overall, I guess this will be the last question. What are your thoughts on the 12.10 patch so far since you've been playing it? Like, I know you've probably had a day to play it. Does it feel good so far to you? Or, like, everything's kind of the same?
One thing I didn't talk about is Steam audio, which is just, I have to get used to it a little more. It's good, I think, besides the phantom steps. Those are really noticeable and screw with me, and I hear them in other people's streams and stuff. Like, it's definitely screwy. But all in all, I think that it maybe doesn't fit what I enjoy about the game, but it's not a bad change. I am not happy with it, but when the servers kind of get less under fire and stuff and things kind of normalize out a bit, because it's bad right now and it'll get better. It always goes through bad phases. So once things get ironed out a little bit, I think we're going to be less frustrated with it. But right now it's a little tough to deal with it all at once, I guess. For sure.
Well heard. I think that, you know, guys, this was the perfect guy to come to and ask about, you know, the questions about the 12.10 patch. Obviously playing a lot of the labs, things like that out there, getting to experience it firsthand. And I think that's pretty much all we've got for you today, Yoinks. So we'd love to take this opportunity to give you the floor. So please let the people know what you have going on, where they can find you, all that kind of jazz, man. So the floor is yours.
Shit. Well, I just want to thank you guys for having me. This was fucking a dope ass time. And if there's ever anything I can do, please let me know.
Dude, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
All in all, man, if there's anybody in the chat that's going to try and do anything similar to me, just understand you have to do it all fucking day. Like, if you want to try and stream, like, I'm not made it or anything like that. Like, we're working our ass off, and every day I'm sitting here with social media learning and editing and stuff. Like, you can do it. Like, anybody can do it, but it's fucking brutal, man. Like, you need to be committed to that and love it and love every piece of it. Like, I love people, I love gaming, I love computers, I love marketing. Like, you got to fall in love with this to do it, and I did. So I think a lot of smarter people than me could do it as well, probably. So yeah, keep it up. Like, you guys are doing fucking amazing here, obviously. Like, this is a rad. Like, I would highly recommend anyone that's otherwise interested in streaming learn from this podcast right here, which you guys are doing, because this is a genius idea.
Dude, really appreciate it, man. That is some great advice. As Yoinks is saying, man, like, you're seeing it firsthand. He's putting the work in every day. That's what it takes. Anybody can get started streaming, but the people that make it are the people that can get through the grind and the process, figure out what makes them, you know, what success is for them. And definitely really happy to see that you've kind of found your way and are really starting to make some waves out there, dude. It's been lit. I've had a lot of fun. You know, we've been following each other for a little bit now, just like seeing you grow and stuff. It's been awesome, bro. And
thank you.
You know, so obviously, thank you so much again for coming on here. We'll definitely be, you know, keeping in touch. I'm happy we finally got to, like, you know, get the chat and everything, dude. It's lit. So chat, give some love to Yoinks for coming through. We'll definitely be posting his links in the link in the description below on YouTube. All that jazz. You know, you can find him on Twitter. His Twitter's on the screen. Go follow him. All of that jazz. We will keep in touch, and I think that's about it, man. I appreciate you coming on here, dog.
Anytime. Calzax, Sea-Doo, Seagleam, it was great to meet you guys. Enjoy the rest of the day, guys.
Dude, thank you, man. Thank you, man. We'll see you out there on the streams, bro.
Yes, sir.
Godspeed, sir.
All right, guys. That will do it for the Yoinks part of the podcast. We are going to go ahead and set up for Tannis, man. Sorry about the little wait there. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to part 2 of the podcast, episode 5. We got our boy Tannis, man, TV up in here. Our boy been grinding out here, man. Our boy been grinding. We're going to get into it, talk about it. Let me pull up the outline here, man.
For sure.
I know Tannis, man, got to catch your little clip there that you posted in the Discord, Sieglem.
Yeah.
The other day. I know you enjoyed that.
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious. That's the one time I happen to have like OBS up and ready to record. You got to see my top tier death, man.
It was good. I enjoyed it. We want more Sieglem clips. I'm looking forward.
Yes.
So guys, Tannis Man TV, welcome to the podcast. This is another good old Tarkov player from the airport, and we have some questions for him. So Aether, Tannis Man TV,
yep.
We would love to just hear from you. Give us, let us know who you are, man. What's good? Tell us about yourself.
I've only got my PC last year, and back in February 2020, when the whole just after I got rid of COVID, or just before I got COVID even, and I've been grinding my Tarkov ever since. But I only started streaming recently to try and like make something of it, because like I'm playing the game every day, so I seen it as like I may as well try and get a couple of views or get a bit of cash while doing it, sort of thing.
For sure, man.
Birds, one stone.
Yeah. Well, I know you've been playing the game quite enough to justify streaming it, dog. Like, you've been out there on that Kappa grind, and hitting that level 50 plus.
Yeah.
So, what was your experience, man? What was it like going for the Kappa container?
Dude, Kappa, like last wipe, Kappa, I thought Kappa was doable, but only like at the end of the wipe when we started playing, I seen like Kappa, you gotta commit to Kappa, man, like from day one. Like if you're a player like me who's not that good, you gotta commit really hard. Like even like some of the basic quests last wipe, like getting like 5 USEC dog tags or whatever it is, I had like so much trouble with that because I was awful at PvP because I was still getting used to mouse and keyboard and stuff like that. So
well, you're doing it the right way though, bro.
Committing to Kappa this wipe, Kappa was so fun, man. I would redo Kappa, again, but I don't want to get rid of the container now that I have it. But
oh, you'll get another chance, another wipe. Don't worry.
Going for Kappa was difficult, but the challenge is why it's so fun. I think that's why so many people reset after getting it the first time. Like some of the later quests, they're so fun, like because they challenge you to use different guns, like with the shotgun quest, with the Jaeger quest where you have to use a bolt action, with Peacekeeper you have to use like M4s and HKs and things like that. Like it challenges you so much to try different things instead of just like meta gear, give you an HK, give you a slick, you go and wipe them up or some shit like that. Like the challenge is why I found it so fun this wipe.
For sure, it gives you that sense of purpose. It really seems like. I think that's why a lot of people like it, especially for streamers, because it just gives you that challenge to go out there and complete, and you get that reward, kind of like Dark Souls beating a boss or something, out there completing Tarkov tasks. But I think what you highlighted was really important. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
And especially over lockdown, like trying to find purpose, trying to find something to do. Kappa was like it was so obvious that it was like it's such a good way to take up your time if you don't have anything to do.
For sure, and for our viewers and players out there looking to go for the Kappa container themselves, I'm sure Aether or Tannis Man TV will have some advice. But I think the most important thing that he said was you just gotta, no matter how good you are, at the end of the day, anybody can get there. You just gotta put the time in, put the grind in, put the work in. There are so many people out there, Sea-Doo, Tannis Man TV, even like players like Jesse Kazam out there who have really been able to, they haven't even played mouse and keyboard until they really got to Tarkov, but have just put the time in and figured it out, and anybody can really get there. It just can't get too frustrated with things, and it's a quantity over quality a lot of the times, especially in the beginning. I think is one of the things to keep in mind. And Aether or Tannis Man TV definitely highlighted that. So what was your most difficult task overall for Kappa?
So I think this is for a lot of people, but Shooter Born in Heaven, and for one reason, I did not realize that they switched it over to reserve. And like when I first got the class, I was like, I'm gonna get interchange done as soon as possible because I have like a little extra camp spots. But I got the 3 kills and I was like, why don't I have it? I should have been checking, but I just like it was like over like forced to have it. I didn't bother checking because I was like, it most likely is interchange, and it was so like depressing.
You actually went and did interchange. No, that's tough.
Tragic.
That is very tragic.
See, on reserve, my problem with reserve for Shooter Born, it was the hardest because like finding people that are like
finding people that aren't like all the way across the map is so difficult, because like everybody's usually underground now, so it was so difficult trying to find people. Like I had so many opportunities for shots by people over at bunkers, but like it's like 300. That's like 300 meters. It's so difficult to get that shot if you're trying to get it quick, because like obviously people aren't going to stop moving. That's the whole thing in Tarkov, movement. That's why inertia is like isn't inertia. If they do add it in, and it's going to be such a big gap to get used to. It's going to be a big, like, I guess, another obstacle for people to overcome. So like just trying to get those kills was I hear that so difficult, man. I felt like cheesing it, but I committed and got it fun on the day.
Props to you for making it through the grind. What'd you do? Did you end up like having a camp drop down or something from Dome?
So yeah, drop down and like trying to get other people going up. So I would usually just sit in Dome, because Dome, I think it's a lot safer than the actual sniper towers around the map. So I would just sit up at Dome and try and get the people going into the sniper towers, and eventually I just got lucky, got a 2-man, and then got a hatchet runner trying to get on an HMG the next raid.
That's nice. That's always handy. Just stuck there going, trying to like get it working. Oh, that's funny. The sniper towers, that's a good thought too, honestly.
Yeah.
I was doing the shooter-born stuff last wipe mostly. I honestly never really ended up making the push for Kappa towards the end, because I ended up working on hardcore and stuff like that this wipe. But I never got to really try the shooter-born on reserve, but that sounds like a good angle, honestly, the sniper towers.
Yeah.
And let's see. Let's go ahead and dive into some 12-10 stuff, man. I mean, I know you've been playing it today, as well as we've been able to catch some of it as well. Chat, I know you guys have probably been playing some 12-10. Now that we're kind of just chatting about some 12-10, chat, feel free to chime in. We'll try to keep you guys involved here. But let's go ahead and talk about some of that. So let's start with Steam audio, because I feel like that's one of the biggest for this patch.
Hell yeah.
And so personally, I played with it for several raids on my hardcore account. I was using Excels, actually, though. So I normally don't run Excels, but on my hardcore account, I stash run sometimes, obviously, because you just have to sometimes to get equipment. And I find Excels in them a lot, and so I just had them, and I was just running them. And I ended up not dying the whole day, and I ran like 4 or 5 plus 6 raids on my hardcore account. And it was sounding really good. So granted, I don't use the Excels very often, so that's what made it a little weird for me. But the directions I felt were so crisp.
Dude, yeah.
Especially in vertical situations. So yeah, give us your thoughts.
I was doing a lab show just after I stopped streaming, and so I was fighting a 3-man who had I think they just got done a fight, because as soon as I got over to where I was hearing the shooting, I heard a serve kit like clipping up like it was finishing, and I knew exactly where they were. Exactly, they were just beside. So on the staircase near Blue, they were one of them was behind the door. I know exactly where he was, because after I heard the serve kit clicking up, I seen his gun like holster up to his shoulder. And the 2 other dudes were running around. They were running into they were in Blue, and then I heard one of them jumping up into like a camping spot to, I presume, heal. And dude, I cleaned them all up in like 20 seconds. Like, wow. It is so overpowered when you like Steam audio. The only reason I won that fight is because of the audio. I wouldn't have won that.
I get it. I was feeling the same way. Like I was I mean, obviously I was in hardcore, so I was like having a different experience in terms of that. But I, like in reserve, I was, in the underground and stuff, and I was able to just hear directly where people are at, man. So well, even they were above me and stuff. And before that used to be such a problem. I think it is really powerful, like you said. I think because you can just locate the hell out of people. It sounds real crisp. Yeah. But obviously, go ahead.
Like movement, like I think hearing is probably one of the most important things. Like you like with the new Steam audio, like if you're in D2, you can hear people and like Queen and stuff, and you can look exactly where they are, so you can know if they're in the bathrooms going into the main server rec room, and you can hear if they're by the grated door that separates Queen from the D2 entrance. Like it's so useful, man. It's such an amazing feature. Like,
well, and it was almost like the pawn buildings in reserve are like borderline impossible to fight in. I know before, like, because you can't tell. You just hear wood. I just hear wood, and I can't tell you what floor it's on at all. Like, it's impossible to fight in those. So hopefully, I haven't gotten a fight there yet since 12.10 came out, so I'll have to test it out. But that should be better, I would hope, by this point. And then I did want to ask Sieglum how he was feeling about Steam Audio stuff, because I know he's had a chance to test some of it.
Yeah, I tried it out a little bit, and on interchange at least, it helps out when you're close to like the hole in the ground, knowing like I could tell if the people were below me or above me, and like earlier before that it was very hard to tell. So that's nice, you know, knowing which way to look before I get shot. I haven't played too much with it, so I'll reserve too much judgment on it, but so far I feel pretty positive about the change.
And it's been enabled before, and I enjoyed it back. They had a lot of time to really test it and stuff, and overall people were liking it. So I'm hoping this will be the same, because it seems like it sounds pretty similar to how it was. But we'll continue to monitor it and let you guys know. But chat, comments, YouTube, everybody, I want to let you guys know, if you guys go into Tarkov to enable the Steam Audio, you have to make sure you go into your audio settings and enable binaural audio, and then restart your game for it to actually be enabled. So I know a lot of people are going to open their game and just expect it to be there, but unless you turn it on, it's not going to be there. So please know that there is a phantom footstep bug, as we were saying before. So you're going to hear random footsteps at times. That's just, they were saying, somebody thinks it's like scavs spawning in a far distance or something, but it causes a footstep to appear like it sounds like it's next to you. Just know that's going to happen. So if you hear someone around you and you can't find anybody, it could be that. And it's just usually one or two footsteps. But have you heard that a lot today at all, Tannis Man?
I've just been getting. I think it's just because labs is usually everything's obviously indoors, so there's a lot less like ambient noise. The only ambient noise you get is in the staircases on labs. But I was hearing raiders. I was in Greenland, and I was hearing raiders spawn in over like across manager's office and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this at all, but raiders make like one specific footstep sound when they're walking, like it's like a really crunchy footstep, like it is so crisp. But like I think it is the footstep, the like phantom footsteps, because I'll run over because raiders have free gear and they just won't be there. I've moved on.
It's hard to tell, man. It does suck because you're like, you can never be certain about something now, you know. I do want to move on and talk about the new slicks that they added, and there's not much to say about it, but they have the tan slick now and they have the olive slick. The thing to really talk about it, obviously for cosmetics, it's cool. You know, I guess you can hide in your bushes now with your slicks if you'd like. You're not left out. You don't have to wear a black slick in a bush. You can wear a green one.
Yeah,
you're good. You're good to do that now.
I just wanted to add something into about the Steam Audio.
Go ahead.
Double check your Steam Audio, because like yesterday I switched it on, and I restarted my game and everything, and I thought it was on, and I checked this morning because I was trying to find the streamer mode thing because I thought they added it in, and it was off. My Steam Audio was off. So
okay, so double check it, guys. Make sure you check it off and just be sure. That's good. That's a good point. But as far as the slicks go, the main reason I really want to touch on this is with these new slicks being added, it'll be interesting to see, is there more slicks in the loot pool now? Or did they take a third of the slicks that are in the loot pool generally, turn them into green ones, and then turn the next third into tan, and then keep the next third black? Or did they just pour on all these new slicks on top of the other slicks that were already in the game into the loot pool? That'll be interesting to see. I would imagine it's going to be something like they just divided it up, and hopefully they've considered that, but I definitely will try to keep an eye on it, because if they just tossed it into the game, there's definitely a chance that we start finding a lot more slicks in the game.
Yeah. I actually have not found one of the new slicks yet, like the olive or the tan slick. I bought my tan slick, but I raider like on labs. I think they might have done one of the things where they up, because like I know they wanted to do something like this at Starlight, where they would like increase the amount of gear like every like couple of months or weeks or so, on raiders and scavs, so it would progressively get better. But I've been noticing a lot more raiders on labs with like hex grids and stuff, but I've yet to find one with slicks on them or in their backpacks.
Interesting. So we'll keep an eye on it, but Tennis Man is indicating that it probably hasn't tossed too many more slicks in the loot pool, but we'll keep an eye on it. I also heard that like Rashala was going to have them now or something like that, potentially.
Rashala was going to have them?
Yeah, I thought I heard something about Rashala now having slicks sometimes or something like that.
I did hear that as well.
Yeah.
Rumor is confirmed.
Yeah, I definitely thought I heard something along those lines.
Right. He wasn't hard enough.
And in addition to that, they are like changing up the scav loadouts a little bit. Apparently now even some scavs can have class 5 armors and stuff. I don't know if this will be like a consistent thing, or if it's just like now that it's later wipe, and especially with the economy, they're just like, we'll just get scavs some extra stuff.
Scavs could spawn with gazelles, but I haven't got too many of them this wipe, so it'll be... I
think they definitely changed it even more though, even in 12.10, because Noise Guy was saying something about that. So we'll keep an eye on that. But also, have you noticed what voice do you have on your PMC, Tannis Man?
Let me go on and actually check out right now. I could not tell you.
Have you heard like the breathing? Have you had a chance to listen to how the breathing on your guys changed?
Breathing. Yeah, it sounds normal now. It doesn't sound like you're done running a marathon.
You're dying or something.
Way better.
Is it better?
It doesn't sound
like
it?
Yeah, I checked it out.
What? Okay. See, I was playing with my hardcore account, and I picked the Sergey voice in 12.9 because that was the quietest breathing voice, and it's already like really quiet. Like he just just really quiet panting. So I couldn't really tell a difference in 12.10, you know. But I know you guys probably did get to. So how was it quite a bit quieter, or how much?
It's noticeably quieter.
Yeah? Okay, that's good.
Definitely.
That is definitely good. Okay, so this actually segues into one of the things I think is kind of going under the radar in this patch, and it'll be interesting to watch. Apparently, Siegelman has told us now that they're actually pretty hard to get a hold of at the moment, and that is these ballistic glasses you can buy from Prapwar. They run about 8,000 rubles. Yeah.
The ones you can get them on Raiders. I've been collecting them. Like 20 currently right now.
Wow.
I did stop the player scav nearly shot him in the face. Stopped the lead slug.
Wait, with the glasses you stopped the lead slug? We already have an instance of it. That's why I was going to talk about it today, guys. So what it is ballistic glasses that give you a high ricochet chance on your eyes.
It's
on the head
low
eyes.
ricochet.
Is it low ricochet? Okay. So it gives you a ricochet. Thank you for correcting me there.
Still low, yeah.
Yes, but still get a ricochet chance. And I believe you can even wear these under some of the visors as well. So you can potentially add another ricochet chance. That was what Sidu, I believe, was saying, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can just wear the visor right over them things, like the normal sunglasses.
Yeah, at least at the current moment you can. And I definitely think that this could be interesting to watch. I mean, if things are bouncing pretty often, this actually could be pretty frustrating. If all these people are wearing glasses and I'm bouncing rounds off their eyeballs, that's going to be a little tough. As you said, you've already bounced the lead slug off the eyes. That's crazy. But it's also, maybe they don't work very often, and it's just like it's kind of an interesting decision. I wasn't expecting them to add something like that this wipe. So
yeah,
I was wearing them. I was doing a factory run to help a buddy of mine who just got the game. He was trying to get the what do you call it, the circuit boards placed, or he was trying to fix the control boards or whatever. And I got because they're glasses, and they added in this with the I think all the visors, they have you have a reduced chance of being flashed from a KS-23 round or a flashbang for so long, and it's really quick with glasses or a visor on. I was wearing the glasses because I still hadn't died with them, and stopped a kid with KS flash me, and I was able to get him because of how quick they were. How quick the flash effect wore off.
So the ballistic glasses also help with the flash as well, just like normal glasses.
Yeah,
These do seem really powerful, to be honest. Low-key, but Siegelman was telling us that they are potentially pretty hard to buy. So they might be more of a find and raid thing if the stock is pretty low on them. So we'll keep an eye on it. Definitely interested to know how you guys feel about that, chat. YouTube comments, let us know what you guys think. again, I feel like it's flying under the radar, not really being talked about enough. This could be, if it's bouncing enough rounds, this is a humongous change, and will be interesting to see, but maybe not. They also reworked a bunch of the AI this patch. Apparently the scavs are supposed to be more simplified, the raiders too. I was hearing Velion talk a little bit about the raiders, and he was saying they weren't quite as bad as they used to be, as OP. And, you know, scavs aren't supposed to be able to shoot you through bushes and hopefully high, tall grass as much as they used to. Did you notice anything in your playtime, Aether?
I got job shotted. I was hyped of it. I thought scouts were gonna be so stupid, but I got job shot my first raid. I thought they're not supposed to be able to fire in the middle of laying down anymore. But so he laid down and then just he was running. He was running and he said like "what on," and then dropped and shot me. And I've been seeing clips of people getting like crazy, like scouts on like crazy grenades at them, like airbursting them like raiders with like normal scavs. So
the scavs are still OP. Then, huh?
I hope that it's still just. I hope that my experience was just one off, but. I don't know. I haven't seen too many scavs because I've just been on labs and reserve today.
Heard.
One thing actually happened to me with that. I went customs. I had like one raid yesterday. I was so tired. I was like, I'm gonna play one raid before I go to bed, and load myself up. And I loaded in, spawned at the new Krakow spawn actually on customs. Got there pretty quick. Got out of there and started running towards that like one building where the scav boss spawns, pretty big in the new custom expansion, and I shoot at a scav that was outside of it, and he runs into the building, and I hear him like yelling at me from in there, so he's still aggroed, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll chase him, and I start running towards him, and he had run all the way from outside all the way up to the grenade launcher up on top, and then freaking one-shot me immediately. So these guys are crafty. You cannot underestimate the scavs.
Wow. Oh my God. You can't leave them to their own devices, man.
Yeah, crazy. They've got plans.
They were. I fought Rashala and the boys on my hardcore account. I actually ended up killing them all and living. I only had one mag of PS. It was a crazy little raid. One 30 round AK-103, and all like 4 or 5 of them went down, dude. I literally had to pack the mag in the middle of the raid in the corner, like just in my inventory, just listening, and then I just hear Rashala coughing upstairs and just go gun them down. But it was fun. They were definitely acting different. It's hard for me to explain, really, but they were like, they would push me at times, and then they would start sprinting around the whole building at other times. It was weird.
They don't pack up like they used to, which is what I've seen with Gluhar. Like sometimes you would go into like Black Knight, and behind the like the garage entrance doors, like Gluhar and like all 7 of the raiders would be inside each other because they hadn't like dispersed yet.
For sure.
But, they don't like all like stick inside each other like that. They're actually dispersed now, and they don't move at the they like so it would be like a hive mind sort of thing. They would all move at like the exact same time. They don't do that anymore either, so you actually have a chance to like be able to take on one at a time instead of taking on like 2 or 3.
I did notice they all did not push me at once, yeah, for sure. Like I got a chance to kind of split attack them. But I hear that. Any thoughts on that, CD or Siglum?
Dude, yeah. I mean, beforehand, I mean, like, all of Gluhar's buddies would just spawn in, like, and just constantly hold his back pocket the whole time. And then, like, the second, like, you start combat with them, they just, like, disperse, you know what I mean? And it's just, like, a whole little fight that they start up. Depends where you're fighting them, of course, but it can usually be pretty tough, especially when they all start, when 7, raiders start shooting at you at one time, like, one of them's probably going to hit you in the face.
For sure. But yeah, we'll keep our eye on the AI, guys. I'm not sure. It's supposed to be a little simpler. Hopefully they're not. I'm really going to be watching if they can shoot me through bushes. That's mostly what I'm concerned about. I don't like that at all. I hate getting shot through soft cover like that, dude. It just frustrates me. There's also some like stuff they changed with the thermals too. They added a bunch of like cold-blooded looking stuff. Like, so if you have certain armor types, when you're looking at somebody through a thermal, it will basically not show you the heat signature, so you can kind of actually tell what armor people are wearing. The cultists are supposed to be harder to see, so they definitely tweaked thermals a lot this patch. What was that?
Cultists are like permanently cold-blooded, and now you can't see them through thermals.
For sure. And I think they added the new stem too, actually. The cold-blooded stem, SJ9, I think.
Mm-hmm. And the so with the thermals, yeah, you can only see like limbs and like exposed flesh and shit like that. So it's honestly, it's a really nice touch. I don't think it's ruining the power of thermals. Like, it's still a thermal scope. You can still see them when they probably can't see you, but it's just a nice little
For sure.
like, feature they have in.
Crazy.
Yeah, it made it more realistic.
I had that idea, but like I was just gonna be like, yeah, you should be able to roll in mud or something.
Yeah, that's what you said, roll in the mud. Yeah. No, now it's like whatever armor. So that's what Peshley was even saying too. Like, maybe now if you wear a Zabralo, it's even more worth it when it comes to like thermals seeing you. Like, I don't know if you'd specifically wear a Zabralo just because of that reason, but it is interesting. You know, if it covers up a lot of your body, it makes it hard for a thermal to see you. I don't know.
Anyway, I'm going to buy a roll of aluminum foil from Therapist and put myself in it before every raid.
Cover my entire body in that. But also something else that they changed too. They updated like the game FPS, the max FPS limit. I think went from 120, 144. So that's really cool to see. They also added the MIP streaming, and I believe what the MIP streaming is supposed to do is try to take some of the load off of your RAM and add it onto the VRAM, which is on your video card. And one of our videos we even put out earlier was is Tarkov experiencing a memory leak? And we asked you guys if you guys were having problems with the memory, and we got a lot of answers saying that yes, the memory was an issue for people with like 16 gigabytes RAM or less.
I gotta turn MIP streaming on.
So hopefully the MIP streaming will help with some of that. Now I did hear he was saying for those single PC streamers, be a little careful with it because you are probably using some of that VRAM to stream. So it might not be better for you, but it's definitely something to play with. And especially if you have a lot of VRAM, like for myself, I need to make sure I go turn that on because I have a dual PC stream setup as well as a nice graphics card. So it should help me, and I'm excited to test it out. And it's definitely good to see some fixes like that because I know that the back end is really where there could definitely be a lot of work. Like in such a involved game, RPG game that has so many different items, so many different guns. It's so much fun to play and experience. There's so much depth. The back end really, really matters, and so it is good to see some work on that. Do you guys have any thoughts on any of that?
I did not realize that's what MIP streaming did. I thought it was something to do with like CPUs or something like that. So I never really. I seen you talking about it, and I think it was the podcast, but I did not. I did not realize that it made playing a bit easier on your PC.
That's huge, honestly. I mean, like, I was personally dealing with that data leak, like, heavy when it came to, like, a lot of different maps, honestly. Yeah. Especially Reserve, man. Reserve was really trying me.
Reserve was a rough one.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't even get into Reserve.
Reserve, I wasn't allowed in there.
But that has changed recently for you, or no?
Dude, yeah, it did. I think it's because... I mean, it could have been because of the changes. I definitely want to like mess with them though, because you know, like I definitely get like huge lag spikes sometimes, like indoors places sometimes. I don't know.
Well, that was generally what they were hoping to fix. Like one of the things I think that they said specifically for MIP streaming is just aiming to combat like those right as you get into the raid, those big lag spikes that you experience, and when you're like getting into fights with other players and stuff. So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully in your case, Cedu with the 1060, hopefully it would help you. Hopefully you've got enough VRAM and stuff like that. I know if you have a lot of VRAM, it's supposed to. But yeah, we'll hopefully see some tests out there and get back to you guys on how good it is. Chat, comments, let us know what you guys think. If it's helped you guys out. If you guys have done any testing on it, we would love to hear from you guys on that. And I know that, somebody before the podcast told me that they're obviously planning to do the factory expansion, right? But who was saying that the factory boss is going to have something like a sledgehammer or something like that? What's like that?
It was.
Yeah, so I thought it was going to be. I thought they were adding it in like this update. But yeah, basically the factory boss. The factory's probably going to have like 7 to 8 people in it or something. And basically the factory boss, he chases you round with a sledgehammer. He chases you like.
Oh my god.
Apparently he's going to be running just you know, you can't outrun cultists. They run like they're the fastest NPC in the game right now. Apparently he's either going to run at the same speed or faster than cultists. So
that'd be wild. Tarkov is even more of a horror game now. Look, you can go get died a cultist or go get your head slammed in.
KS23's star runs abusing the scout boss in factory. That's probably going to be the meta for killing him.
It's gonna be interesting. Definitely interesting.
I think it'd be pretty cool for the like the quest line where you have to kill scav bosses for Jaeger. It'll be nice to like hell. Maybe they'll make it so you have to collect a sledgehammer or something for the for like the quest item. Because like for Killa, it's his like unique helmet. For this scav boss, maybe it'll be his unique sledgehammer.
Wow.
Do you think that they would have it as like, you know, you put it where you put your melee weapon, or do you think like that thing's so big you need to put it?
You have to put it on your back or something. Yeah, I said it'll take up a weapon slot.
Crazy.
That is
that's a difference
for Tarkov, man.
Wow.
The animation is really cool. I don't know if you guys get managed to watch the animation. Yeah, dude, it's like it's like you're on the ground and he's hitting you while you're on the ground.
Oh my gosh,
dude,
there's gonna be hammer only players now. You know, hammer only runs. Oh my god,
hammer runners are killing me.
That's just scary. That's scary, chat. Oh my god.
Dude, I would just run. I wouldn't even try to fight.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be wild. And then, you know, obviously, sorry, say it again.
Never mind.
Okay, but the Streets of Tarkov boss is supposed to have that RPD, I believe, but who knows when that'll be out. I think the factory expansion is supposed to be out sooner, so there's definitely some cool stuff planned.
Bosses for Streets?
There might be. I think there's like a troop at least, like one in their troop, but who knows? It's all kind of up in the air still, and obviously we don't have the insider information here yet. We're just presenting what we got, guys. But I'll be honest, I think that's pretty much the Tarkov questions and topics I've got for the moment. So, Chad, if you have anything else, or Sea-Doo, Sieglum, Tanis, man, I mean, I'd love to keep talking, but those are the big points I wanted to discuss. So, if you guys have anything else, we can continue. But otherwise, that's all I've got, guys.
I already asked the bird question, so I'm good.
Bird question.
But yeah, with that, I do want to say as well for you, Tanis, man, we'll take this opportunity to give you the floor, man. Let the people know what you got going on, where they can find you, you know, Twitch, Discord, things like that. Where do they go?
So I've been having like just shit's going on in my life right now, so I haven't been streaming as much on Twitch, but I stream nearly every day on Twitch, pretty much when my schedule's not filled up with anything. I'll stream every day on Twitch for like 4 to 5 hours, Tarkov only, and then I'll usually rage quit after a while. So if you want to see me get absolutely destroyed on lobs, hop on over to my channel. I'd be more than happy.
Tanis, man, is a great guy. He loves to talk to his chat. Y'all should go through. He's a lot of fun to hang out with. Get the blood of the Irish right. It's a fun dude. Hey, Bluesy Turtle, I see. Here's the real question y'all are missing. When is VSG going to let me be good at this game? That's a good question. Have they not sent you an email?
That's the next update.
Yeah. I think that was in the patch notes I thought I read.
Yeah, they updated Bluesy Turtles.
Yeah, Bluesy Turtle OP status.
If you start streaming,
send an email about it.
Yeah, Nikita will send you an email and he will literally let you select what streamer that you want. For me, I picked Aces because, you know, 10 to 12 Aces.
Aces are, oh man, I found one in, oh man, it's just that, you feel good when you find an Ace. There's no doubt about that.
Dude, I've been handing out Aces like Halloween candy. I literally, like, everybody who's played has got an Ace.
Oh my god.
I can attest to this.
Yeah.
All you have to do is subscribe to Tarkov Prime.
Yeah, buy those therapist painkillers, man.
Well, you heard it here first. Go join up on the airport Discord or up in the Tanis Man's Discord, and he's apparently lucky with finding those aces, so you might have some help for you. But guys, I think that is going to do it for the podcast, episode 5. I do want to say, if you guys do not already have your boarding pass, make sure to drop that follow. Get your boarding pass so you can hop up here in the Calzax jet. Exclamation point Discord in the chat. Hop in the airport. We got a lot of gamers, especially Tarkov gamers, up in there. It's a really great place. It's definitely growing. We would love to have you guys be a part of it. We really appreciate everybody that came out to the stream. Thank you so much if you're watching on Twitch, on YouTube, wherever you might be. Thank you so much to the Yoinks. Thank you so much to Tanis Man TV for being here with us. We will definitely hope to see their faces again in the future out here on the podcast, but we hope we gave you some of the information, the content that you guys were hoping and wanted to see. In the future, we'd love to possibly, you know, put out some polls, get some questions from you guys, but I'm happy that we got to chime in with chat here as well. So I think that is going to pretty much do it. I don't know if you guys want to say goodbye to the chat real quick, but I'm going to go ahead and get a raid working here, guys.
Bye, chat.
Oh, yeah. Dude, thank you for being here, chat. Thank you for watching this podcast, man. We love doing it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Getting out here and talking in front of y'all, man.
Absolutely. It's so much fun. So much fun. Like I said, we'll be looking forward to episode 6 coming at y'all soon. This is all going to be up on the YouTube, so definitely check it out if you missed anything. Future episodes coming y'all's way. All the Tarkov news and topics we can get. Tweet at us. Let us know in the comments what questions you want us to ask, because we'll definitely be watching. I really want to feature in fan questions, you know, chats questions, comments questions, because you guys know more than we do when it comes to this game probably. So we want to hear from you guys. All right.